Hey everybody, welcome to Sexy Nerd Science, Season 5, Episode 25.
Yeah.
Got
Since this is the second recording this weekend, as you can tell, we've done a lot of screaming by my Sam Elliott voice. We got some post. We're going to call it post-con? I mean, I don't know.
What?
I was going to say we're going to call it post-con wrap-up with Josh and Dale.
Sure.
This is our final day of the con.
Yeah. Greetings.
It's not over yet, so I didn't want to jump the gun.
Now you can hear it still booming in the background.
Yeah,
It's still going.
There is a lot of people here.
To be honest, you can't hear it at all.
I know. I was
I
kidding.
had the headphones on. You can't hear it.
I was just kidding. We don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm recording it just
I
so
know,
you can hear
but
it.
Dale just wants to yell. Stop it, Dale. Stop it. Stop it.
With our powers combined, Dale.
Yeah. I'm just gonna.
I am Captain Planet.
I'll just point my mic over there, and we can hear whatever they're saying.
Yeah.
Fuck 6 years. What?
What?
Jesus,
How
those
dare you?
jerks? I heard them.
Yeah.
Rude.
Rod.
Rude.
Rude Rod.
So we are at
Team
Colorado Springs Comic-Con 2019 in the Project Nerd Pavilion. Brought to you by Papa Blocker.
Papa Blocker.
And Dwayne the Lock Johnson.
Dwayne the Lock Johnson, little guy over here. Can the camera see? Your camera see that?
Can the camera see Dwayne the Lock
Everything,
Johnson?
it stops like right here on most
Yeah,
stuff.
Dwayne
No,
the
I'm
Lock
talking about
Johnson.
your camera. Did you?
My camera can see everything up to like the Gmail,
Okay.
and then the
should
the
have a
webcams.
wider shot.
I don't care.
People like our legs.
So
That's my defining
guys,
feature.
Guys, what do you got? What sexy stuff have we seen? What nerdy stuff have we seen? And what sciencey stuff?
Well, I
have we
woke
seen
up,
here?
looked in the mirror first.
That was the nerdy part.
I rolled over and opened my eyes.
Josh forgot the window to close the window today.
I did forget the window
I
today.
got it.
Did you get it?
I did.
That's good.
Did you have to lock
That
it?
would have not. Oh,
I
hey,
couldn't-
we
I
got a
couldn't find
5-star
one.
Yeah,
review.
we got a 5-star review, Dale.
On what?
on
On
the,
our
as
stay.
a stay at Airbnb.
And now since they can't revoke that 5-star review, we partied the shit out of
So,
our Airbnb.
so what you're saying is they actually came back to the hotel or room already and
yeah,
checked it out?
they said we got a 5-star review,
Cool.
and that was at like 1:30 that they did that. So
Oh, wow.
When was checkout?
10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Because I know I had to be here at 10 and we left like 9:30.
Yeah. So, but really, what have we seen? What's the sexy, nerdy, and sciencey stuff that we have seen here at Colorado Springs? Damn, Ethan, you did that earlier, and now I got it stuck in my head.
Colorado Springs.
Colorado Springs Comic Con. What sexy?
Well, the
beautiful
sexiest
place.
thing I saw was listening to you guys talk about food for the last hour, which just made me super hungry and jealous that I wasn't on the podcast.
Did you like that Oreo? That's
I-
the first time I've ever had a deep fried Oreo.
I'm not a big Oreo fan. I like deep fried Oreos better than regular Oreos. That's
I will agree with that.
I like deep fried chicken better than chicken.
It was
no.
For me. I think it was because it was softer.
Yep.
And I didn't get the crunchy bits stuck in my teeth.
I think that was I was just able to gum it down.
I mean, I have teeth, so no, I didn't gum it down.
Not gonna lie, I really want to open up a Fat Shack franchise like
Yeah?
in Omaha. I think that would be
You
not
can
a
open it up
terrible
in
investment.
Detroit.
No, they don't. They said they don't want to go to Detroit.
Yeah, I bet they did.
They did.
Why is that? Okay.
Because they don't want to go. They're branching out. They don't want to go too far away from the main distribution
Yeah, I
area.
get that. I understand.
Which is Colorado right now. They started on the East Coast. Things didn't work out so well. Then they came to Colorado.
Just like McDonald's.
So they're like Colorado.
You know why they came to Colorado?
Because of the ability to
No, he doesn't.
The munchie capital of the world.
munchie capital of the world. Shrooms are legal.
Because what'd you say? They went to Colorado and then they're now Washington State.
Yep. And then Texas though.
Um,
Nope.
Hi, Carrie.
He was back here. How come every time we do a podcast they show up?
Because they love
But
us.
so
Hey, wait, watch this. Hey, focus on me. Hey, you, right there. Come over here. Come see us. Yeah, see, somebody was walking by on the TV.
Tasha thought you were talking about her.
oh, I see.
Get it? And then I thought it was,
Yeah.
well, I can't see you.
Hey, you. Josh, you can't do it at the same time as me.
We all can do it.
No, we can't. There's 2 cameras.
There's only one camera on the screen.
So, just in case you guys don't know, if you hit the buttons twice really fast, both of our images show up. It's like an after image effect.
Well, it's a fade. And no.
It's not a fade. It's not a fade. Do it. Do it real quick. Oh, we're all 3 on the screen at the same time.
Guys, what you're actually seeing
gonna-
with that
you're gonna
recording,
crash Dale's
it's going
computer.
black every single time on the recording because it fades to give it time to actually come on.
Stupid.
There's a delay.
300 milliseconds.
No, that's the fade.
Isn't
Yeah. Was it fading or was it black flashing?
Yeah! You, Dale.
Well, I'm
Dale.
just saying
Fuck you, Dale. Fuck you,
Whoa.
All right, so let's get back into it. Sexy. So Fat Shack.
Sorry, yeah.
That was Josh's sexiest thing he
So
saw.
it moves it to you were commenting on the marijuana thing, which is good until it gets to Texas, which is like the anti-marijuana
how many-
capital
Come to
of the
Michigan.
world.
How many
there.
though? How many?
There was like
distribution?
7 in Texas.
Oh,
There's 2 in Washington, like 50 in Colorado. Not quite 50.
Me
but there were
thinking
a
about
lot
this
in
hurts my
Colorado.
heart.
By the way, so like, did no one mention the fact? I know you guys were talking about like Fat Shack, and you were like, "Oh, well, like it could be like making fun of like fat people," and I was like, "No, it's food cooked in fat. Like that's
No,
why it is the Fat
it's-
Shack."
No way. It's actually
No.
making fun of fat people.
No, it's not.
Everything's fried.
That's a misnomer. Or not even a misnomer. The reason it was in the news was because, or not in the news. It was the reason they had gotten some flack was because they are not a quote unquote healthy food like the general lifestyle foods are promoting.
Yeah.
So it's you got a lot of these healthy places popping up. You eat wraps, lettuce wraps, and stuff like that. And the other thing there's not much that's popping up of is the Fat Shack type places that are not promoting healthy food, but just good eatings, or so to speak.
Yeah,
So-
but like any place in an Italian restaurant is pretty much that too. It has to be the name.
carbs.
well, yeah, and I mean
Because there's a fat burger. I don't know if they're around here in Michigan,
Yep.
and like the same thing. It's a burger that has like a waistband, like it's exploding out of it.
That's talking about fat people there.
Yeah,
But I
You
don't
know
think
what?
this is
Their
referencing
burgers
to fat
are
people.
on point. They make me breathe heavy for some reason.
The burgers make you breathe heavy?
Yeah, just like how you were breathing heavy last night, sleeping.
Yeah. I was
Anyway.
dying.
Yeah,
is
you
true.
did.
Dale,
That is true. Yeah.
Dale, what was the sexiest thing you've seen?
No, it wasn't Ethan. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like
And
the
remember,
coolest-
we're Sexy in Science talking about sexy subjective.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the coolest thing like I saw.
Yeah.
Dang, I honestly want to say like this setup because like it's just on point. But yeah, nothing's cooler than this.
Yeah.
We did a good job with this setup, guys.
Yeah, I know it's not going to sound bad. Screw the people in the wheelchair. Screw the people who are doing charity.
Jesus,
Just
Dale.
this setup. That's it.
Can't say that.
I just did.
That's really. I mean, I'll redeem us because I think that whole thing with Power Ranger Anthony
Yeah.
was probably the coolest thing. I've seen him rolling around on the floor right now.
Yeah.
And he's got the Tyrannosaurus Zord.
Yeah, but I didn't see that.
I know you didn't see it.
So this is the coolest thing.
I know because you've been stuck back here in the pod cave. But what?
Pod cave.
That's what we used to call the basement when we.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I like that too. Don't take it, Ethan. I'm going to be watching you for the next month playing this World of Warcraft crap. I'm going to be watching. If you use the word pod cave on your stream, we're going to have some issues.
Pod cave TM.
Yeah, TM. Patent pending.
Copyright.
CC.
So the
I have to-
Welcome to the pod cave. Sorry.
yeah, talking about the
sorry, I
wheelchair
was
Zord.
thinking of a weird nerd
Every
thing we
Drew
could do.
text message he sends me back after I say something serious. After you say something serious.
Yeah.
That's Drew. That's what he loves sending me all the time. How does he type from consecutive uppercase to lowercase so fast? I don't know.
There's a converter that I use.
Yes. God, I hate you so much.
Yeah,
I tried typing one of those, and I was like,
There's a
this takes-
mocking SpongeBob converter, so all I do is I have it as an open tab. It's like my first open tab, and I just copy, take it up, paste, convert, copy, take, paste, and then I send it to Josh.
Oh, that's funny.
That's just me too.
Yeah, I don't. Just because that was like 2 years ago when we did that. I did that for the first time.
Memes.
But no, yeah. So,
You know what else was really sexy?
but
that we
he
didn't
got
talk-
it.
Oh,
He
sorry.
got it signed. He got the
Zord?
Red Dragon
Austin
Zord, or
St.
the
John
red
signed it.
That's cool.
Austin St. John. I think David Yost signed it, and Steve Cardenas. All three of the dudes.
Did you just say carnitas?
Cardenas?
God, I'm so hungry.
Well, when I say, "Hey, Josh, go get some food," and you're like, "No, I'm good. Gum's fine."
No, that's
what you
not
said.
what you
You said,
said.
"Hey, go
You
get us some
said
food."
Go
You're like,
get an
"Gum's
orange
fine."
Julius after I just put in like mint gum in my mouth. Even if I did spit out the gum, an orange Julius is gonna taste like butthole.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, I'm not gonna make chewing gum flavored butthole. Like,
Butthole flavored.
I'll eat
chewing
at that
gum.
restaurant occasionally, but
Um, so
That's the best part about Josh is him constantly just talking and talking and talking about absolute nonsense, and we're just ignoring it.
it's not.
so the
Ladies,
that I think that was the cool, like the sexiest thing I saw about that. What about the nerdiest thing, guys?
so I was gonna say, but before. Well, okay, we can
Okay.
talk this nerdy thing too, because it's. Let's face it, it's all the same stuff.
Right.
Iggy's surprise birthday party that we were keeping a super dark secret for.
Yeah, he had
for
no idea.
not a single one.
He was completely clueless.
We was so surprised when he came in that door.
Yeah.
And it was all organized by his son.
He
And
had
I thought that was
a taco
fantastic.
hat and a taco pinata. That was fun.
It was definitely something
Hey,
that.
why don't we keep taco bouting it?
Ah,
I
I'll
had
give
I
you
had to
something to taco about.
I had to change the tense of it because you kept talking about it. So
I want to talk
talking
about
about-
me. Want to talk about. I want to talk about.
You want a Taco
Number
Bell
one
in
on
my
my-
mouth? Ah.
yeah,
That was my
hold on,
favorite
pause.
part.
Were you really downstairs pooping or
Yes.
were you sleeping?
So I first went downstairs. I was like, Iggy's going to be here any minute. I'm going to hold it until he gets here. And I couldn't hold it anymore. And then I go down the stairs. Who just made a fart noise? So, so I did. So I go downstairs. I do the poop. Right.
Is that my
and all
shirt?
Is
that my shirt?
No, it's my shirt.
I do the poop, and everyone just. I hear everybody upstairs like, "Oh, yay, he's here!" So then I come back upstairs, and it's
That was a really good one.
Jamie. Stop that. Now he's trying to make farty noises.
Can't do it. I can't do it
So then I
anymore.
come upstairs, I'm like, surprise! And I'm by myself at that point.
He's already hitting the pinata.
He's already
Yeah.
has the shirt off, the taco hat on.
The shirt.
I like to imagine Dale yelled surprise.
He's pooping.
he's like surprise.
Lord help me release this demon.
All right, that's enough.
By
bathroom-
far one of my
that's enough
favorite.
bathroom
Oh,
talk.
honestly, it doesn't take that long. It just kind of comes right out.
Thanks, Dale.
Like throwing a hot dog down the hallway.
Yeah, something like that.
Soft serve.
It's like, did I drop some M&Ms? Oh god damn!
like rope
M&M's?
rope falling
What
off.
are you eating?
I'm eating like rabbit turds or something. I don't know.
So
That's not good. That's like a serious all
right,
health
so-
problem.
Dale, nerdy thing. Go.
Nerdy thing.
Tapered and S-shaped.
No,
Yes.
yours is a pop can.
Not anymore. I eat healthy.
I don't know what the nerdiest thing is.
Well, we're talking about poop now.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the nerd. Oh, not that stupid thing. The other stupid thing. Stormbreaker.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
$70 Stormbreaker.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That's
Like I saw the guy with the swords and everything. And I see that every time, but I don't know. I thought the Stormbreaker was pretty cool.
Well, I like all those swords were foam. Like or like plastic.
Yeah,
They
how
weren't, like,
heavy
metal.
was that one? Did you guys feel it?
The Stormbreaker's like a resin, a cast resin.
Yeah.
So, but there's some swords that are foam, but there's also some swords that are wooden or metal. I mean, they're selling them here, but I think it's immediate takeout, which is kind of where Papa Blockers comes in, and we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
I mean, there's tons of different ways you can do that, but like you're saying, you don't see those types of things as much as you see the swords. Or
Yeah,
lightsabers.
like I saw the Hyrule one, the Zelda one. I saw a
my
few.
God.
I don't know.
Master Sword.
I know very little weapons in games. Okay, and I recognize
Do you know
maybe
what
two
the
or three.
big one from Final Fantasy is?
Of course not.
It's the Buster Sword. Just
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like of all the swords you need to remember: Buster Sword, Master Sword.
No, I just know the Hyrule one.
You don't know the Hyrule one because
Yeah.
that's the Master Sword.
Yeah, I just called it the Hyrule one. You just heard me.
I mean, I'm trying to think. I know there's more. Excalibur, like you should definitely know what Excalibur
I don't know what
looks
it
like.
looks like.
Oh no, now I can't remember. Like Sting, you should know what Sting looks like.
What Sting?
Got it. Oh my
From
God.
Lord of the Rings, the one that turns blue when it gets near goblins, or
Yeah.
not
Oh, okay.
goblins.
I don't know what
orcs.
it looks like.
I'm
Unless
okay-
it's blue. I
I'm
don't know.
okay if you don't know what like Gandalf's sword looks like.
I don't know
I
any
can't
of
even
these.
remember the name of Gandalf's sword.
They had a bunch of swords I didn't recognize. This one guy had two swords in his back of his shirt. I was going to the bathroom. It's always a bathroom story with me.
Was it Deadpool?
No, he had two swords. No, this was a guy like buying swords and then taking them out.
Okay.
He had two swords in his hoodie, and then he had two keys.
Keyblades.
The key that one was black, one was white.
What did I
Keyblades.
say? A Keyblade is another one you should be able to recognize.
That's from the
There's-
Kingdom Hearts, right?
There's
Yep.
multiple Keyblades too.
correct.
Okay,
But I mean, you
so
should be like, that's
he
Keyblade.
He had two of those in his hand, and I think he was walking out to the car.
There's
oh,
also
what's your
there's
Halo?
also, the energy sword.
Yep, I
Yeah.
know that one.
So one of the things
Klingon.
though. Oh yeah, what's that called?
Battle-
Nerd Meat probably knows. What's the
Battle
Klingon?
Blade?
The Battle Blade from
Batlift.
There it is.
Yeah, it's recognizable, but I don't.
Thank you, Peanut Gallery.
That's the tech gallery. He's not sitting in the audience.
That's true.
So I mean that's really cool. No, not
Okay,
when
so-
he's, not when he's doing that.
So, Drew, what about you? What's the most nerdy thing you've seen?
So I really like the Warhammer. The guy dude that had the Warhammer armor out there. Really awesome. Like it's definitely a big build, and I talked
That
to him.
blue one?
Yeah, the blue one is like a 40. What is it? Warhammer 40K or whatever. But he's only been doing costume stuff for like a year and a half.
What?
So he
Must be nice.
must be nice.
Oh, you're doing costume stuff.
Shut up.
Exactly.
So he
But I
started.
always-
He said he started with a Master Chief, did a foam build for Master Chief, and then the next one he did was immediately that Warhammer mech armor, and it's really good. I mean, it's awesome, and apparently my 1-year-old loves it. She was just like,
Oh wow.
"This giant beast that's in front of me."
So, I'm a little ignorant to Warhammer, so I don't exactly know what it was. At first, I thought it was a Terran Marine, and I was like, I wanted to do a Terran Marine costume. Like, it's in my cost planner with like a bunch of like reference pictures and stuff. I want to do one so bad.
Is the Terra Marine the thing from Fifth Element?
StarCraft.
StarCraft.
Yeah, StarCraft. Yeah, the little
that's
blue
right.
Marines.
I can't remember what they're called from Fifth Element.
I like to do the fire bat.
Yeah. Time to fry.
Yeah.
Fired up.
Or
used
battle
to-
cruisers.
yeah.
Do that one.
Ooh,
Do that
who
one.
was it
Battle
yesterday?
Cruiser
Josh thought he saw Red Dead Redemption last time yesterday when we were recording.
Oh, that's
but it was
McCree.
McCree
Yeah.
and Ash.
Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Then I saw a Junkrat. Carrie pointed it out.
I told them to come over.
That was cool.
Yeah. Apparently that girl was on I'm Not Famous,
Yeah.
which is another Project Nerd podcast.
Yeah.
Um,
I appreciate it.
that's mine.
That's,
Thank you.
Drew. That's Drew's. Don't
Cool.
touch it.
But I think the nerdiest thing I saw throughout the entire convention was there was literally like 30 like tweens dressed as all the My Hero Academia characters, and
There's more than that. That
That's the
panel.
show
well,
you
no,
like?
I'm talking about like in a conglomerate that came together, like
An
four
entire class 1A.
like 4 or 5 sets of parents that had that were chaperoning this group of like 30 kids, and they were constantly like when Carrie and I were selling skateboards or skateboard raffle tickets, they were like, we don't want a raffle ticket, but can you take our picture? And like every other person was like, oh, can you use my phone? Can you use my phone? And I was like, why don't you just send them to each other? Like, you're all here together. But it was still nice. I mean, it was, but they took up the whole area by where we have our TV set up and everything. So it was nice.
Yeah, that TV is pretty nice. I think next time, not to get off topic, I'd like to have a TV here so we can see
It was our sexy news. Was this setup, Dale? So I mean, we could talk about it.
Okay, so like what I would like to do, I know people can't see it right now, but I think we would need a TV here that's identical to that.
Yeah.
But also shows more information.
So
like
what we
a
need to
time-
do is, instead of running it off your laptop, run it off of a desktop. That way we can do multiple outputs.
You can set up multi-windows on that.
No, I can only do one extra one.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I can do 3 on my
On your
gaming
desktop?
computer. No, my gaming computer. I can do extended on both sides and then mirror one.
Do you have
do you have
multiple inputs?
multiple outputs?
Multiple outputs?
I have 2 USB-C ports, so I'm assuming yes.
Oh yeah, I guess you can do video from USB-C,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it
I
would
don't-
have to
I don't
be
got that.
to a correct. I mean, have you done that before?
So there's a USB-C to HDMI adapter you can get and then run it out that way. And I'm assuming that's why I can do more than...
You would only be able to do that if your video or if your USB bus
Yeah.
can support that.
So USB-C natively supports video, though.
If the USB Type C bus that is built into your computer supports it, then yes, you can do it.
It
no
should
problem.
all around. Like for instance, like everyone's like, can I use this USB-C converter on my phone? I was like, does your phone have USB-C on it? Then yes, you can screen mirror your phone to your TV because like it's a standard thing with USB-C.
I don't got that. I only
Whereas
got
with
one
micro
HDMI.
USB, it wasn't standard. You had to have a special
in,
type of
in theory,
codec.
could you do could you do power through HDMI?
No. You'd have to. You can do the USB-C to HDMI that has a power, like another USB-C port on it, and then plug power into that.
So HDMI does have 5 volts in it.
It does?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yep. It actually there's I think 19 or 17 pins in an HDMI, and the first one does a handshake with the thing that it's receiving to.
Yeah.
And then after those 2 pins, the third pin sends 5 volts.
Interesting. I did not know that USB-C was a powered
I was
connection.
trying to make something with Arduino, and I wanted to
That's
learn.
what I was going to ask. Is because you're taking USB-C, which is could do power,
Yeah.
to HDMI or even like micro HDMI or mini HDMI or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering if that could potentially do power if it was used in that capacity.
No, it's made specifically just to amplify the signal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if you splice it and tried to use the power for something, possibly, but otherwise, no.
Yeah.
Actually, it wouldn't be able to use it unless it received a handshake, so it wouldn't even use it that way.
Does your computer have USB-C on it? Just one? No?
It has 2 USB Type 3 or 3.0.
Yeah.
One 2.0. Ethernet, HDMI, and a.
Well, time to
SD
upgrade,
card. No, I just got that thing like 2 years ago.
I was gonna say I do have my third tower. I could make it in a smaller package,
Yeah.
and we could potentially use that as streaming
Yeah.
solely. I mean,
Trust me, I would love to not have to use the computer to do it.
the laptop.
The laptop, so then we can use the laptop for editing on the fly, doing stuff on Twitch, all that stuff.
I mean, yeah, because essentially you could use that as that single camera. Come give me a smooch.
Come give him a smooch.
Yay!
Smooch
It
time.
wouldn't be a Sexy Nerd Science podcast without Tasha coming in here and giving Drew a smooch.
That was a big shot at Tasha's butt.
Yay! Hey, we just got more streamers. Just kidding.
So the
1.4 people.
so and one of those people is us.
Yeah, if you did a thing where the computer itself, you ran into it with one of those HDMI Like you have the thing, the output of whatever that was showing ran into the computer itself, and then we just streamed to the computer. I could edit on one side. I wouldn't have to even touch that, with the OBS or whatever. And we could just do that, no problem.
Yeah.
The issue is, and not trying to speak bad of what Iggy wants, is that like right now we're going back and forth between cameras, and then you have to have a dedicated person there regardless, and you can't use the computer otherwise.
Yeah, but you could be over here with a clicker doing it.
Yeah,
Well,
I have. That's why I have an extended thing.
I was
over
gonna
there.
say that would be something that whoever is running the production though could see have a monitor,
Yeah.
the extra monitor, and we could essentially produce our own
Yeah.
and use that the stream deck
Yeah.
to change for
This
who's
is our
talking.
typical like after con podcast because we always were like, here's what we did, here's how we could improve it.
Yeah, I mean it really is. I mean,
You know what? What if we just had that over there?
Yeah.
Don't even touch it. Just have the computer like right here,
yeah.
and then you have the monitor, and then I'm not talking to you. Go do your whatever, and then you have the shut up. So you have the computer right here. You have one guy over here actually switching,
Yeah.
and you see the comments. You can see everything right in that one screen.
Yeah, that's
It's
what,
pretty
that's what-
tiny,
that's
though.
What, I think that's what we're talking.
The only problem is any problems that come up, you're doing it on the stream. You can't actually do it off to the side like we have.
Yeah.
Well, you could essentially. I mean, that stuff's gonna be that's just like any streaming person, though. I mean, you're streaming a game or.
But during like if we had a celebrity out here or a cosplayer, we really don't want to.
And I do.
Well, and that
I
would
like
be-
how open this is. Too.
that would be something that we like, and we could leave it on the side and just have HDMI or USB extenders and stuff like that, and have the screen visible.
Yeah.
But that'd be something that when we do those types of interviews, we just pull that extra cable over,
Yeah.
and that person runs that for that. But then Ethan wouldn't have to sit here, or Chris wouldn't have to sit here, or Dale wouldn't have to sit here for the Nerdcast or Diving Deep or Sex Nerd Science. That's produced like we produce that on our own side anyway.
Yeah.
And then that frees up those people for that.
Yeah.
Remember when we used to have our soundboard over here? And we would,
Yeah.
See, I always thought
Edit
that was
the
kind of
sound, like-
aesthetically pleasing. Like
It wasn't bad. It was just that we didn't have one person would have the headphones on for 5 seconds, and then somebody would come over, and then it'd be really close to the mic. And then,
yeah, and then you would have those problems.
yeah,
Or you would have this problem, and then you would.
yeah. Especially with certain people that are not used to talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or when they're trying to interview a guest and they keep pulling the mic away from them and they're like
Yeah.
talking, keep going.
This is actually my
in the
microphone
head.
too.
It is your microphone.
Yeah.
Drew's
See, watch
microphone
it. I pull
broke.
it off.
Don't. It's really hard to get on.
Okay.
Yeah. Drew's microphone broke.
Oh, did it?
Kind of. We don't know.
top
It's
came
just
off
making
again?
weird noises.
Oh, whichever.
Just popped it off. Pop
nice.
filter just popped off.
So, all right. So,
came
so
out really
science.
quickly.
Do you guys see anything scientific,
Uh,
sciencey, or did we hear?
Yeah, there's lots of chiropractors, but that's not.
By the way, we consentively disagree with you.
That's fine. That's how this podcast usually goes anyway.
Wait, what happened?
I
Josh,
said chiropractors aren't people. Wait, no, that's not what I said. I said chiropractic. Like being a chiropractor,
Chiropractic
is not
medicine.
medicine.
it's not like a medicine.
It's not a medical science.
And
They might
we
use
disagree.
science, but it's not a medical science.
Then that has to be medical science.
So
No.
I don't think
They're
think
healers.
I think there's it's not I don't think it's a medicine. I think it's a medical science because you have to know about the anatomy scientifically about the anatomy to make
anemone.
to make certain you don't injure or exacerbate any problems. Like, let me finish.
Yep.
There you being prescribed it like a medicine, I don't think is necessarily. I think it just like you said. I think it's a luxury thing like a massage.
I disagree with that completely.
See, and I guess this is the thing. Like, you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. Massage therapy, totally a good
But
thing.
how many times have you
to
gotten a
treat-
massage that your bones have cracked or not cracked? You have your bones, your back is cracked or popped or whatever.
Okay, so hold on. We have a few different levels of this too, because we have someone that's massage who 9 times out of 10 didn't go to school for anything but massage therapy. didn't go to school for anything with chiropractic or medicine itself.
Yeah.
Then you have somebody who's actually a physical therapist who knows a lot of the anatomy, actually goes to school for medicine, and cannot crack the bones.
Or an occupational therapist.
Occupational
which is
therapy,
something
yeah.
too.
But like I've been to a physical therapist where they've had a chiropractor minor or something, I don't know, told me to wrap and then bent on my, like kind of like kneed me in the back, and instantly, I could go back to work in a second. When I was at the airport, that was one of the
Faith
things.
healers.
It was, it instantly healed.
But there is science to it, because there is the release of pressure and or that pulling. Like, I don't know if you've seen them do toning, where they basically find out where your muscle is working more or pulling more to one side or the other.
Yeah.
They actually have. I mean, I don't know scientifically, and Josh will research this on our drive home.
Oh, I did
I'm
it
sure.
the other day when me and Ethan were going to talk about chiropractic medicine.
So they have a machine that basically that doubles up on both sides of your spine. It's a little thing, and it just takes a heat reading, I think, of the muscles. And what that does is it tells you this muscle is working in this place
Yeah.
to pull you this way,
Yeah.
or because you're pulling this way, so we need to adjust that.
YouTube has tons of videos with that machine you're talking about.
Yeah. And so, I mean, like I said, I think there's a science behind it. But I don't think.
So if it is a science and it's helping you in a medical way, why is it not a medical science?
So
You think it's just
one
trial
thing I would say, I have to point out, like, medical science is a very regulated profession. There's malpractice boards, there's ethics boards, there's different communities that have all gotten together to say, like, this is medical science. You can lose your ability to practice medicine. Even if you went through all the school, even if you did all the training, you can lose that ability if you do things wrong. And it's one of the reasons why someone with a PhD as like a doctor or a surgeon is not going to turn around and become a chiropractor, because that could end up making them lose their license to be able to practice medicine.
But you have to have a chiropractic license.
Correct.
You
You
have
have
to
to have a
have an
massage
ethics board?
therapist license too.
Don't they have to have an ethics board for all
So
that stuff? as well?
there are hotel conventions where people can go and find like licensed chiropractors to teach other people how to be chiropractors.
Yeah.
And you can do it all from home if you want to.
Okay.
There's no medical training that you have to get. There's a reason why if someone has a heart attack in the middle of the floor and someone's like, is a doctor around, a chiropractor is not going to run over there and try to like help him, because if the chiropractor kills him or does something wrong like that, he's completely vulnerable to any sort of legal things.
but you
If
could
a
become
doctor were to try to do it and a doctor ends up losing that patient, the doctor's not going to be in trouble for malpractice or
What
anything
about
like that.
first responders?
First responders also are reliable. First responders have medical training.
No, they don't.
Yes,
They
do.
go to a hotel convention.
EMTs?
Not EMTs. First responders are different than EMTs.
So what do you mean? I mean, so
There's-
okay,
there's
you're
a
right. You're
thing-
right.
There's a thing
So-
called first responder who knows how to do basic CPR, but you learn that stuff not through school. It's
Basic
usually like
CPR
a
is
church
a,
or
is
something
a
like that.
yeah training class. My
But
dad
they're-
used to.
But they're like it's more than just CPR. It's actually a full on. Hey everybody! It's a full on.
everybody.
It's a full on course that you have to take. Because I was a first responder when I was first in school. It was a class that we could take separately from the actual health thing.
So one of the things that I think we should.
Well, I'm gonna edit this part
Okay.
out.
Sorry. So one of the things I was going to say about first responders. So my dad technically was OSHA certified to teach a first responder class
Yep.
for mine rescue training. So
Yep.
my dad was a certified CPR, mine rescue, basic
Is that
first
not
aid.
medical?
I would say yes, it's medical. Would I say any of those people are practicing some sort of medical science? Not necessarily.
Oh, why isn't
I'd
it?
say
That
those
stuff
people.
was proven by science to work. I mean, we do.
That's like saying that
more
me
chest
operating a cell
compressions.
phone though is, like
No.
I'm saying, like they're using steps, they're using scientific based
Yeah.
medicine to do it. It's the same thing as if a chiropractor prescribes you aspirin for pain or ibuprofen for pain.
Yeah.
They're not pharmacists. They're just like, hey, I know that ibuprofen will help with, the actual pain, or aspirin or Tylenol will help with inflammation.
Yeah, but that's but doctors didn't go to school to learn that either.
Correct, and that's what I'm saying. So, and neither do first responders.
Yeah.
First responders get told this information, and they can regurgitate that information. And as far as some things are concerned, they are, they're not doctors, but they also aren't practitioners of medical science. They didn't go to medical school to do anything.
How much medical background do you think a chiropractor goes to school for? Because they have to have a degree in order to practice it.
Correct, yeah. So my boss currently went to school for being a chiropractor, found out he could actually make some more money selling stuff, so he decided not to do chiropractor stuff, which is crazy to think, because like people are like,
So then
chiropractor.
he wasn't doing it right.
People don't lie
Yeah.
at all.
Oh yeah, by the way, I replaced Drew.
Yeah, we saw that.
People on
one
watching
can
out
see you.
on the live stream, or if you're watching this back later on YouTube, Ethan's off screen, but we don't have. Oh, actually, we can run that cord over so you can switch it.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that real quick.
But so one of the things,
It just tangled a little bit. What's the white cord?
we have to. I think the only thing I'm trying to say is I'm not saying that chiropractors don't do medical things
Well, you have
based
to be
on
saying that.
science. I'm not saying they don't practice
It has to be medical
scientific
science.
things. What I'm saying is there's no evidence to suggest that alignment, like spinal realignments, are a permanent long-term solution
Now let me put it this way:
for
how
ailments.
much medical science do you go to the doctor every year for? That is one fixing a problem, or fixing a how do I say this? Preemptively fixing. Does that make
So
sense?
yeah, most
What's the word for
checkups
that?
are preventative care.
Medicine.
Preventative.
Yeah, preventative care. So
over there.
most health
You're not in the shop for
checkups
that one.
are about.
Scoot one more over.
Yeah.
You're not in the shot for Mike.
Well, he can't reach the thing if he's too far.
Well, you can pull a lot more.
It didn't look like he could. But
Yeah,
So-
you can pull that cord a lot.
most preventative cares specialists, your family practitioner is going to do preventative care, and it's all
no, they
about
don't.
making. They do. They recommend. I'm sure your doctor has told you, Dale, you need to work out or you're going to die.
Yeah.
Dale, you need to eat healthier. You're going to die.
yeah.
That's all preventative.
That's all
No,
preventative care.
Yeah, that's like the bare minimum preventative care.
That's.
no.
I mean, that's huge. Obviously,
do
it's
any
not
of it, trust me.
working. Yeah. I mean, but if you were, you would be a healthier person. Like,
So how much do you not think the chiropractor is preventative care?
no, I think he's treating symptoms.
Yeah,
usually.
a chiropractor is. I don't know which one this is on. Is that me?
A
It is on me.
chiropractor, I think, is
Middle-
no
middle
different.
one's you.
If I
It's-
could take a
yeah.
pill to make me feel better, a chiropractor would be no different than that pill.
Right. Well, that and chiropractors generally can't prescribe actual medications.
Yeah, I don't think
Correct.
you can. Yeah.
I think in some states
Not,
they might
probably
be able
not
to.
over-the-counter medications, or like over-the-counter medications would probably be okay, like ibuprofen,
Right.
NSAID pain relievers,
I've
things
watched
like that.
some TV shows. This is probably not
Yeah.
true at all, but
Probably not.
there were some chiropractors that had ability to just prescribe like OxyContin and stuff.
Like I said, I think maybe in like some states they might have it. So since I work in healthcare, I can talk a little bit about it. But basically, each state has different requirements to be licensed to practice medicine in any capacity. So where I deal with mental health care in particular, some states don't recognize licensed marriage and family therapists as someone who can actually treat a mental illness, even though they get almost the exact same training as like a licensed professional counselor or a licensed clinical social worker. And so it's really up to the state to decide which type of healthcare provider can do which services, which makes it really kind of a weird thing that makes things like chiropractors, mental health practitioners into this weird like, sure, it's healthcare.
Yeah.
So, and here's another good example too that you kind of mentioned there too that I'm thinking. Would you consider a nurse a practitioner of medical science?
What kind of nurse are they?
I'm not saying nurse practitioner, like a hospital bedside nurse.
Okay, so they go to nursing school.
Yep.
I would argue that they are healthcare practitioners. They practice healthcare in various capacities. Now, you still do have different levels of nurses though.
Yeah,
so
you
not
do.
even
I mean,
nurse
yeah,
practitioners.
Yeah, CNAs.
You have CNAs. You have
RNs, registered nurses.
Yeah, and there's a couple other ones I can't
Yeah.
remember, but like for example, my expertise is mental health care. There are some states that allow certain nurse licenses and certifications to perform therapy and treat mental illness, but they have to have a specific specialty in mental health.
Yeah.
But they do all of the same things that a licensed clinical social worker would do.
And I think that does so. And then chiropractors who would be able to prescribe medicine and stuff like that, if they are prescribing medicine, I would say at that point in time they are practicing medicine. If you can prescribe medicine on top of your treatment process, I would say that you are practicing some sort of medical science. Then, but that at that point in time, no, but that at that point in time, you are then you are a prescriber of medicine. That is the medical science you are doing. You're not a chiropractor. The act of being a chiropractor is not necessarily medical science right now. It's along the lines of acupuncture, massage therapy, and some other. I'm trying to think of other.
So a lot of
yoga is one.
So my question then is a lot of health conditions can't be treated with medicine.
Correct.
So what would be required for a chiropractor to be a medical practitioner then? So you said the ability to prescribe medication, but not all illnesses require medication.
No, what I'm saying is the act of prescribing medicine is at that point the furthest that I would consider medical science. If you're trying to diagnose and treat a problem with medicine, that is what you're doing as far as medical science.
There are people that go to chiropractors that don't need to go back after the first few appointments.
Correct.
There's the people that go back because it feels nice. They're stiff. They don't fix the actual problems that are given them.
Right.
And I'm not saying that
like injuries and stuff.
So I'm saying that two people with the same back injury, one goes to a chiropractor, the other one goes to a surgeon. Both of them walk out of the hospital several, however long later, with the same results. What the surgeon did was a scientific approach. Mm-hmm. What the chiropractor did just happened to work.
But you can't say that. He needs to know exactly where the pain is coming from.
Here's the thing.
Something you only found out through scientific method.
No, because it's not through the scientific method.
Then it's just trial and error. It's just like me doing it when I'm punching your back.
It's more so trial and error.
It's not, though.
It is.
It's not.
So it totally is.
You're
actually need to go to a chiropractor then.
Factually incorrect.
What do you mean? Why?
Well, so if it's trial and error, what do they teach at chiropractic school?
Techniques.
No,
and anatomy, which is science.
So
how did they come up with the techniques?
I'm not saying that somebody isn't using science within being a chiropractor. I'm not saying that they're not using science while they're doing it. I'm saying the act of being a chiropractor does not make you a medical practitioner of scientific.
You have agreed that they are doing science, and you have agreed that they are a type of medicine.
No, I have not.
How are they not a type of medicine?
If something you physically saying take. Anything that heals is medicine then?
What's the definition of medicine?
I don't know. It'd be a good thing to look up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the first thing. So this is kind of why I like this argument because we have to establish definitions.
Correct.
And so because otherwise we can both be guilty of moving the goalposts in an argument like that. So once we agree on what the definition of medicine is.
Well, I'm going to look up the medical science first.
No, why would we look at medical science?
Because I'm claiming that
we've already agreed
these aren't
that
medical scientists.
No, we didn't agree. We've already agreed that you think that that they use science to do it. So all we have to prove now is that they're using medicine.
No, because I'm saying these aren't medical scientists.
Yes,
I'm not saying they don't use medicine and they don't use science. That you're taking the word if medical scientist means something different than medicine plus scientist. Then
why wouldn't it? You're using science.
Why wouldn't it? Because it's English and we define things really stupid.
All right, so I'm going to start with medicine since that's the base here. So medicine definition, the science or practice of the diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of disease.
Just disease?
Well, disease is a very, very broad term.
Say it again.
So the science or practice of the diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of disease. So disease literally means anything wrong with you.
So can you have?
Any physical or mental issue you might have.
So it's the
could be a disease.
science and
Yes.
treatment of, or treatment of.
Science or practice of the diagnosis, treatment, and prevention.
So
That is the definition of medicine.
So I would say that in that definition alone, being a chiropractor, they're using medicine.
Yeah, because they can diagnose.
Yep.
They can treat.
So
But
are
your
they-
disagreement then is that the treatment itself is not scientific.
Correct. And that's all I've been arguing.
Right.
The act
So
of manipulating bones or
how is
like-
that? So when you break your arm and they manipulate your bone back into place,
And a surgeon's doing the same thing. He's opening you
Right.
up and moving that bone over.
yeah.
the surgeon is doing it by different means.
So now you're saying that it's the means themselves.
It's inside versus outside.
Not necessarily inside versus outside. What I'm saying is that the act of the surgeon going in and physically, like if they have to cut you open to do this versus the person who's from the outside non-invasively trying to get that same result.
So what about
by-
non-invasive surgeries?
I'm not saying, and then that's what I'm saying. Just because a non-invasive surgery is a successful, it can be a successful treatment for what would invasive surgery be, that's fine. What it has to happen is all chiropractic medicine has to be given the same rigorous testing and standing that normal surgery gets
Okay, so
to
now
be able to then show that it is a scientific method for
Right.
treating these things.
So what you're
We have to go
saying
all the way
is
to the
that
surgeon level.
No.
well, no. So you basically you're saying there
You
are
have to have
no
an ass-
peer-reviewed studies about chiropractic.
No, I'm not saying there aren't peer reviews. I'm saying that the peer-reviewed studies done about chiropractic medicine show that they are not technically any more successful than traditional practices that we use with medicine.
Well, that's fine, but it depends on the diagnosis.
No, but that's the thing.
I
It
would,
doesn't.
I would also say that
And then you can even say that it is, and so they can perform at the possible same level of helping somebody as traditional medical
Right.
science can.
We're not arguing
Here's
that
the problem. Here's the problem. Chiropractors have a higher chance of actually hurting you by malpractice
opening up you-
than people who practice traditional medicine.
I would like to see your source on
that
that.
is
That's fine.
bull. There's no way. There's more chance of infection and problems when you open somebody up.
Nope.
Than moving your bones around on the outside.
By moving your bones around, you are more likely to cause a medical problem, breaking the bones, straining the nerves, doing long-term hazards to your body than just a one-time surgery
That
would
is-
fix.
I want to see the sauce.
That
Now,
is-
no, listen,
that is
listen.
incorrect.
I wanna see the
here.
sauce
Listen
on
here.
that.
This is not physical therapy,
Right.
which is the
Now,
non-invasive
but here's the thing: is that
treatment
is a
of those
that is
same
a huge
symptoms and
claim.
problems. This is not occupational therapy. This is not even massage therapy.
What is your source?
We can find them. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. And
I
at
want
this
you to
point in
find
time,
it because I don't believe you.
I can't find it easily on my phone right now.
Okay.
But what I could do is, and we can find this. I'm encouraging you all to go out there and do the study. It's literally like.
But the argument isn't that chiropractic is more or less effective than medicine.
It's
The
that
argument is that
chiropractors-
chiropractic is in fact
more
a
dangerous.
science.
No, but
That
it's-
was never it was not whether or not it's more dangerous. That was never the topic.
No,
it could
but
overlap
listen.
in some portions.
So if medicine is the act of healing, it means
not the act of healing, technically.
No, but it's
The treatment.
treatment of healing,
Right.
And it means as
Doesn't mean
as
it's
we
more
do
or
it-
less successful.
Yes, it does.
No, it
because
doesn't.
if what you're doing is actually hurting more people,
It's
then you are
not.
no longer doing medicine.
No, it's not hurting more people. You said it's more likely to hurt
Correct.
people,
So-
which doesn't necessarily translate.
Yes, it does.
It's
No.
causation
It's
without.
the same. No, it is.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as if I give you a lobotomy to treat your headache versus giving you aspirin to treat your headache. One of those is medicine. The other one is considered an
No.
archaic treatment.
No.
Yes.
That's not.
There's
But
a
lobotomy,
reason-
but a lobotomy can cure some things.
but it's not medicine anymore.
Well,
it's
right.
now considered a gross
Absolutely.
overuse of
Absolutely.
medical technology to treat something that probably could have been treated elsewhere.
But-
in some other way.
But at one point was scientifically backed.
No, but that's because how we do science is all about falsification right now.
Right.
So
That-
our best thing is saying, I mean, that's like saying when Aristotle noticed that the tail of he put a ribbon on the end of an arrow, fired the arrow across the room, and the tail flew behind the arrow. He was able to then say, oh, well, there must be some force after I release the arrow pushing on it, driving it through the sky, which Newton later on was like, no, that's not how it happens. Up until Isaac Newton from Aristotle, we thought that that's how science worked. And then when Newton was like, oh, that's not how science works at all, then we're like, oh, well, we need to change our idea of how science is.
Right.
And so science has to keep progressing with that.
Josh, we're agreeing with you on every single step except the point of we believe, based on your own definitions or the definition we found, that chiropractor is a medical science.
And I have been comparing since the very beginning that chiropractic medicine is the equivalent to snake oil right now.
Yes.
Right, and you
using
haven't proven
heroin
that.
to relieve hysteria.
Right.
I mean,
but you
these
haven't
things.
been able to prove it.
You haven't been like, Josh, come here with evidence right now. I'm just trying to explain my argument for this. If I can find
it's not. It's not the fact that it's not the fact of any article you find is going to prove anything. It's that if it's treatment of an illness, or a treatment of a disease, it in fact has to be a medical science. And if it's treating,
but if it's not science anymore, it's treatment of a medical disease.
So you're saying that
it's
chiropractic has been disproven, like it just doesn't work. That's your argument.
I'm not saying that it doesn't work.
You are, because the definition
I'm
we've
saying
agreed on is that it is the diagnosis, treatment.
I'm saying chiropractic medicine is something that creates more harm than good, and that's why it should not be considered a scientific medical practice.
So your thing is
because
it hurts more people than helps more people.
Because when we practice medical science, try to do the least amount of harm when treating symptoms. If we find a way to treat a patient without harming them,
like cutting them open and giving them an infection.
We will get rid of others. Yes, exactly. And chiropractic medicine was invented to stop doing that, because when it was invented was when we were cutting people open. We're like, man, these guys are dying like flies because we don't understand how bacteria works. But it didn't help as much then, and it still doesn't help as much now.
I'm disagreeing. We disagree with you.
And I guess now at this point in time, I have to go through and provide you guys with journal entries, and you guys have to read them and figure out if they're valid or not.
It's not the journal entries.
For me, it is a little bit.
Okay, that's fine for you.
Because
want
the claim is basically that it's a disproven medical science, which I just don't think is true.
To me, it's about the numbers. It's the fact that if it helps
Right.
more people than it hurts versus surgery that does the exact same thing, I would say that if you can
So
get
I'm
the
not saying
same
it's
results,
just surgery, though.
Right.
I'm saying
Any other medicine.
Any other form
out
of medicine.
there.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that includes
that's my
massage, physical therapy,
right. That's where
therapy,
I'm trying.
and
That's
things
where
like
I
that.
need the source. Is
Yeah.
he claimed
Yeah.
that is the case?
Yeah.
Because
So I need to see that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's his assumption.
Yeah.
no, I'm saying that in the past when I've had to look this up for people, I have found evidence, and I will find evidence again
Yeah.
to show you that it is
What time are we
not
at?
a
Oh.
3:39.
All right, we got time.
That it is not a
Yeah. Didn't we also start this at like 2:30?
By the way,
Probably
Be
we
a
did.
long
Yeah, we did.
ass.
But-
By
sexy
the way,
nerd science.
we've never had Ethan on the Sex Nerd Science before.
That
That's
is
totally
true.
true.
Yeah. So this is Ethan. He has his own podcast called Meeple Skills.
Yes. Yo, what's a bottle?
He also
go, friend.
does streaming,
Oh, thanks.
Nerd Meat on Twitch. He does
Twitch.tv/nerdmeat_.
Oh yeah, that. Why'd you do that little underscore?
I didn't want to, but someone else had the name Nerdmeat. Funny story, I think it was me like 6 years ago, and then deleted that account because I was like, Twitch is stupid.
Yeah.
And then I can't get it back.
Yeah.
Fun
What
little
else you
story.
do?
Dude, I do so much. So, if we're going to run down the list.
Relative to the podcast bullshit.
Right. Yeah. So I'm the editor-in-chief of ProjectNerd.com, in charge of a lot of our written content. Again, I do the podcast Meeple Skills. I stream on Twitch. I am a content creator for Team NTG, or Non-Toxic Gaming, community all about playing better and being better. I am also involved in GGKC, which is a Kansas City gaming group. Again, kind of promoting a positive gaming environment locally. I do a lot of stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, Dale, what do you do?
Everyone knows on what I do.
Oh, right.
Yeah, this is my podcast.
Oh, your podcast.
Yeah.
Well, this is my podcast now. It's a hostile takeover.
Oh crap!
I am sexy.
Please
science
do.
now.
Please do.
No.
I would trade
So,
that.
up until 1996, bone out of place was what chiropractors were referring to as like moving the bones back into place
Sure.
as a method of healing. In 1996, the Association of Chiropractic Colleges had to redefine that as a complex or functional and or structural and or pathological articular changes that compromise neural integrity and may influence organ and system general health.
So that sounds like science advanced to the point to
Well,
give chiropractic
they got
legitimacy.
called out because someone took them to court and proved that while they were putting bones,
somebody that does medicine to court.
they took a chiropractor to court, and while he was claiming that he was moving bones back into place, the x-rays did not show that the bones were in fact moving
So
at all.
one bad chiropractor?
No, but
I would say that
this was enough for the entire organization to,
What?
we're just messing around for,
how
Tell us to shut up?
Yeah.
yeah.
Tell
You
us-
want us done by 4 so we can break down and just close it all out?
More so we can raffle off the board.
Raffle off the
Okay.
what? When are we doing that?
We can do it off board.
yeah.
Okay.
cool.
So 15 minutes.
So we'll do that on Facebook Live.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
So-
can you use my setup?
This would be interesting.
My setup for Facebook Live?
And I'm just on scientificmedicine.org. Is literally the first thing I went to.
Right.
This person's making the claim that there is no published evidence to support the idea that chiropractic improve health and quality of life. There's no evidence
'Cause
that
some-
preventative or
Yeah.
maintenance adjustments do any good over
What
long
I'm
term.
saying
But who's
is,
this guy?
I don't know. I'm
Right.
you're finding the one.
Well,
you're
Harriet
finding the one.
Hall, Harriet Hall, MD, known as the Skep Doc, retired family physician who writes about pseudosciences and questionable medical practices, received their BA and MD from the University of Washington, did their internship at the Air Force, and was the first female graduate of the Air Force Family Practice Residency. So,
yeah.
I mean,
So
it
sounds legit.
seems like she's a retired,
So, 'cause
not
here's-
even
Right.
like,
So here's my thing, and this is why I think that I think your thoughts are have a foundation, like you're not completely out of left field, but I feel like in the last 20 so years, chiropractic medicine has been researched and has been legitimized. If there was no benefit whatsoever, and in 1990 something when they got called out and sued, and the Association of Chiropractic
the
Colleges,
licensing organization
Right.
had to change their claims.
so they've
for what
obviously
they do.
looked into this. There's got to be studies out there.
So for 100 years, they practiced chiropractic medicine.
For
You
100
can-
years,
and
they
you can say that about World War II, cutting off limbs without cleaning
But
stuff.
Right.
but in 100 years, so in that time, this was 1895 when a guy used magnets and bone manipulation to fix someone's hearing, was the first chiropractor, and went on to open up the chiropractic society association here that trains and license all the
Yes,
chiropractors
but
in the
listen,
United States.
Just because that's what it was doesn't mean that's what it is now.
Correct. But they didn't change what they were actually claiming to do until 1996, over 100 years later.
So in 1996 till now, it's legit medicine. Until then, it wasn't.
yeah.
That's what
so,
you're saying.
no, I'm just saying that. No, and so now what they're claiming is they're saying that it may be an effective treatment.
Well, that's
Not that it is a proven treatment. Like before 1996, they were claiming that this practice is what helps fix people.
well, right.
And then
but we're not talking about 1996.
no, and since then,
30
now
years ago,
they're claiming. So
goddamn.
here's the thing. So here's one of the nice things that I think sums this up. Chiropractic is not a science, but it doesn't mean that nothing they do is based on science. There is evidence that spinal manipulation therapy is effective for some kinds of lower back pain, but it is no more effective than other treatments for lower back pains. But it is a viable option for patients who prefer it. It's not exclusive to chiropractors, but it's also used by physical therapists, physiotherapists, physiatricists,
I
and
would like-
doctors of osteopathy.
So doctors
essence-
of osteopathy
No, I think-
also use chiropractic techniques.
No.
Listen, wait. Before you continue, I see that some chiropractors, or the chiropractic medicine in general, they use some stuff that has been scientifically proven, but not all the stuff. I would like to know exactly what chiropractic medicine or what techniques or what things that they use that no other medicine uses. And if
So-
that stuff
and if-
doesn't help you, then I could say I would give you
And
like
this
maybe.
is claiming that there are a few chiropractors like this one example, Samuel Homola.
You can come back in here.
Who limit their practice
Yeah, we
to
don't watch
short-term treatment of musculoskeletal problems, who reject the subluxation myth, which is the idea that moving bones in the body can help fix other parts of the body.
Oh, I don't necessarily believe that.
So there's very few chiropractors who do practice that way, though,
Right.
is what this is claiming.
Yeah.
The ones that do only claim that their practice is for short-term treatment of musculoskeletal problems. And they try to provide rational, evidence-based care. And unfortunately, the majority of chiropractors still believe the subluxation myth. Many of them aspire to be family doctors, discourage immunizations, and think they can help patients with...
So
Oh,
this
man,
person
is
is
a really
claiming
hard
that a
thing.
majority of chiropractors believe that?
Discourage immunizations.
Everything from ear infections to stomach ulcers. I'm trying to figure out what this...
Here's
So I'm
where I
using
think.
context clues for
If you ha-
somatovisceral
I believe
problems.
that chiropractic
Visceral.
medicine is there for you have a pain that there's something pushing pressure on something else that it shouldn't be, and this is
And relieving that
and this is
pressure.
relieving that pressure.
Yeah.
Any other thing besides that?
Then why go to a
No, no.
chiropractor and not a massage therapist? or a
Because the
physical
massage
therapist?
therapist doesn't know which vertebrae is out of place. and-
Massage therapy.
They will, though. I mean,
No.
Yeah, eventually when
So
they become a
massage
chiropractor.
therapists-
chiropractor.
massage therapists go through anatomy training just like chiropractors do, apparently.
So what's the difference then? If they're doing the same motions and same things,
And that's
I've
the
never
thing.
had a massage therapist crack my back.
Okay, so somotovisceral or visceral.
Visceral?
Visceral. What's this? Visceral.
What?
Like A, like emphasis
the
on the
Vicks
A.
vapor
yeah,
rub.
that's visceral.
That's visceral still,
Yeah.
even with
Vicks
the accent.
vapor rub.
Yeah. Vicks Vapor
what you said?
Vapor Rub?
But it is pertaining to the influence of the body's framework on neuromusculoskeletal systems.
Right. So to explain that a little bit more, because I had a chiropractor tell me that once, that I have pain in my mid back because I have asthma.
Because you have asthma?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right. And that they're basically
Why
because
don't they
the
just treat
nerves.
the asthma.
Well, you can't get rid of it. Like you can't
You
cure
can.
asthma.
I mean, you can with breathing treatments.
That doesn't cure it.
No,
Yeah,
no.
you can make asthma. So fine, you can make asthma go away.
Well, right. Like so,
With-
I don't have asthma attacks, but I'm always gonna have asthma. So I have an inhaler.
That's
I mean, technically though, asthma has been cured in people. Like people have had asthma and then no longer had asthma
people
for the
have
rest
had
of their life.
cancer and not have cancer.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not cured.
What?
It's in remission.
Right.
Yes, but
Asthma is not a curable disease. It's not
I
gone
guess.
forever. Like it's not like I'm, because like I said, yeah, it's treatable. I don't actively have asthma attacks.
True.
But it's not like I could never have an asthma attack.
correct. But that's because everybody's capable of having.
Are we
asthma.
shutting down
Right.
or something? Because like
Yes, we are closing things down
Oh
in
my
10
gosh.
minutes.
A little bit. But anyway, so yeah, so she's like, oh, if I pop this, you'll be able to breathe better, which was kind of true.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily that, oh, your spine's out of alignment, therefore,
Yeah.
you're sick for these other things, or like, oh, I'm going to cure your asthma by snapping your back into place. It's that, the nerves attached to my lungs that go to my spinal cord, that go to my brain, center in that area.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I do have back pain, but, I don't think it's because I have asthma. I think it's because I have bad posture.
So that other thing
I think it's
too,
because
where
I'm a large and in charge.
You check the muscles for like how they're working.
Yeah.
Kinesiology.
Kinesthesiology? Or no.
Kinesiology.
Kinesiology.
Which I mean is just muscle
Right.
study.
Well, and so then the other thing my chiropractor helped me with too is because I got really bad knees.
Yeah.
And so she helped me work and like stretch, which I know a physical therapist could do that too if
Yeah.
I was like, but my insurance isn't going to cover that because I have a birth defect in my knees.
And so, and I think, I mean, all I'm trying to necessarily get at here is any of the things that are working are usually used in practice by other people out there.
that's what I was talking about earlier.
And that has been established medical science.
So,
So,
like,
I'm not saying that
where-
chiropractors don't use medical science in some of their treatments.
Okay, so
But
which other type of
So all I need
medical
to do is
practitioner-
find. So if you find a chiropractor that believes in, subluxation, which is, treating other ailments in the body
I
by
don't buy that.
manipulating other elements in the body. But if your chiropractor believes that, they're not practicing medicine at that point
Okay,
in time.
I'll agree to that.
That's pseudoscience. If
Right,
they're practicing,
I will agree with that.
If they're practicing, saying chiropractic can help with the somatovisceral problems, that is
Yeah.
not established science.
So
Right.
that's my thing, Josh, is we have to find where there is no overlap. Where is the part outside of all medical science except
That's a good question too.
The-
So, like, if you go to a chiropractor and you say, "I only want you to perform medically, scientifically proven procedures," I wonder what those are. I don't expect an answer for that.
But at that point in time, like, why would you want the chiropractor who does half pseudoscience,
So,
half real science
which
to do something
which
else?
type of
No.
medical provider should I go to then?
So I would say
you're
if you
now
went-
saying that there's that one treatment is pseudoscience and medical science.
No, I'm saying that one treatment is considered pseudoscience because there's no scientific basis that it is effective, while there are other treatments that do have some scientific basis in them that are effective. Like when you have
Right.
lower back pain, getting an adjustment for your lower back.
Right. So,
is
which
just as
other
good.
type of doctor should I go to get one of those?
So they suggested massage therapists, physical therapists, or even your family practice doctor are all capable of performing that procedure.
Every one of those people I have been to for lower back, and
They
all
probably
sent me to a
referred you
chiropractor.
to a chiropractor.
yeah.
So why, if they're, I've asked them on specific things. I've had this done before. If you can do it, then that'd be just better. It's like I can't do it.
So, and that might be more of a problem for how we practice medicine
Ooh, let's talk about that.
than whether or not a chiropractor is.
This
I mean,
is-
In this
so-
case,
so
we're
what-
just throwing.
This is now
stuff-
sexy nerd social problems.
So what they're doing is they're sending you to somebody
specialist.
who is capable. Not even. I mean, there's someone.
It's a
hey,
specialist.
Yeah, hey, this person can do this procedure
if-
better than me.
If
or,
your insurance covers specialist visits,
Yeah.
that's generally what chiropractors fall under. Same with mental health providers.
yeah. So it's one of those things where like, hey, this person can do this better than I can, or I don't have the time to do this for you.
Which is probably actually
which
usually
is
it.
more accurate, I would say. Not that the doctor is incapable of doing it, but the doctor's like, I have literally 30 other patients in this family practice that I
So
have to
have
see
we
in the
now
next
have we now
hour.
came into here's medical science and this is a specialty?
No,
of
I'm
it?
saying that doctors will send you off to go do lots of things
Because you just paid your copay. They don't
because yeah, I mean they're like this will get the same results if I send them to this guy and he does this.
But
than that.
if
If that chiropractor does anything else other than what the doctor's prescribing you there to do, also claiming that it is rooted in science and is going to help you, that I would be skeptical of.
does the chiropractor have a medical degree?
No.
What kind of degree does he have? Just a
Chiropractic.
license?
care. A chiropractic.
No. Is it a BA?
It's a license.
Is it just a license?
No, it's not just a
Yeah,
license.
you're right. You're right.
It is technically would fall under a doctorate level,
Doctorate
Yeah.
level.
but they are not licensed medical professionals.
Okay. So
Same.
they don't
again,
have an MD. They have a PhD.
or there's a couple. It's a different thing. So
Yeah,
like
'cause, like Lisa's not getting a PhD or an MD. She's an occupational therapist.
I want a
she
PE.
get- yeah,
What's that?
she gets a doctorate
What do you think that is?
still, but it's not a PhD
Same level as a PhD.
or
It's
a-
not PE.
well, so there's different things. So again, I work in mental health.
Yeah.
So you can be a licensed mental health practitioner and have a master's degree, and that's it. But they still use the same things that
Can you flip that over to Ethan right now?
yeah, it's the middle button. But they still
only got 6
use
minutes, guys.
the exact same diagnostic manual, the exact same treatment thing as a psychologist with a PhD would use. But the psychologist is A, going to charge you more, B, can do like psychological testing and things like that. So it kind of works the same for a chiropractor. It's not exactly the same thing, but they can do a lot of those stuff. Same with a registered nurse practitioner and like all of these other.
And I would say if you would go to a psychologist that still believes in Freudian psychology, I would also say the exact same thing about that psychologist is no longer practicing
Right.
a medical
Are there
science and is now
people
practicing
who
pseudoscience.
treat in medical ways that have the ability to prescribe medicine that aren't medical doctors?
So psychiatrists
Okay.
are the only mental health provider that can prescribe medication.
Real quick, so we're talking about where does dentistry fall in this?
That is dental science. That's
I'm
a
gonna
DS, I
reset
believe,
some
right?
Yep.
Or
Yeah.
a DDS,
And it
Doctor
is
of Dental Science.
Yep.
So
Science.
switch to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So as far as I understand this DDS, but that's every moniker we're given is made up somehow.
Ooh, but
No,
dentists
that's
can
an
prescribe.
accredited thing, though.
Dentists can prescribe.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm
they have a
getting at is-
doctorate
Yeah.
and it's a medical science still too. Just a dermatologist is also another form of doctor that also can prescribe medicine as well. Just like a cardiologist is also another form of
but-
holistic medicine is what we're talking about now.
I guess the time I was gone, I don't know where we got.
Yeah,
Mostly watch Dale get salty.
yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
No, got me get salty because I had to start pulling stuff from the internet. I was like, God, I don't want to do this on a podcast. That's great.
Well, no, I bought some of
It's
it.
making sense though, and that's what I'm trying to like.
And I think
my
we've-
argument isn't necessarily that like
well, I think
all chiropractors are fake.
yeah, I
Like,
can't speak for Dale, but I think both of us have adjusted slightly in our opinions.
and it's definitely that
Yeah.
aligned. Yeah,
Adjusted.
I think it's just one of those things where I would always caution whenever someone's going to a chiropractor.
But really, you should go.
be
'cause it's
very
great.
careful. I have, and it
But
didn't.
go again.
It was no better than me just working out. Like
What kind of
literally.
workouts are you doing?
Strength training.
Yeah, I've never felt that great after doing
So-
strength training.
One of the things that my chiropractic experience is very limited. Most of the time, I go because for a long time I was driving with my wallet in my pocket, which
Yeah, that's
shifts you up.
Uh huh.
It shifts you up in your seat. You do a 2-3 hour drive doing that,
Yeah.
and your body overcompensates.
So posture is totally a thing. That is a problem.
Yep.
So
And they might recommend you fix your posture.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
But to assist with a posture, I can't remember what a posture realignment or a posture
Fixin'.
fixin',
Yeah.
we'll call it, is they say you may be doing this out of habit now, because even though I've for the last 6 months taken my wallet out of my pocket when I drive, I still have pain. I still sit awkward. And it's because my muscles at this point have compensated for that, so they're now tighter in one area versus another.
Totally.
So,
By the way, the machine that you were talking about totally was one of the things that they said was pseudoscience. It doesn't work. But
Wrap it up.
dang it.
Who wraps up these podcasts?
We all do.
this has been
They never
Sexy
get
Nerd
wrapped up.
Science
Lots of science this episode.
with Ethan from Nerd Meat Gaming and Meeple Skills. Dropping off some badges over here. We got we got Sarah and Greg rolling in. But from everybody at 600 Science and Project Nerd,
Colorado Springs Comic-Con.
at Colorado Springs Comic-Con, brought to you by Pop-Up Lockers. We would like to say thank you, and we will see you next year.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Sexy Nerd Science Season 5.
Make sure to like us and subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
Don't forget to check out our merch on Teespring and support us on Project Nerd Patreon at patreon.com/Project Nerd.